gentlemen, it is with some impressive word that I introduce to you Mark Grainger. Give it up for Mark.
What's your name?
Why were you telling me your name?
Jackson. I'll forget that name next week because you don't mean anything to me. For some reason, I got the opportunity and the privilege, maybe the dread and the I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to this, but I get to speak to you guys tonight because. As we've experienced, life is not fair, and I got stuck with this. So, no. I'm really looking forward to it, and I enjoy getting up here and being able to talk to you guys whenever I can. Because, quite frankly, I think we get sick of Nathan week after week, and it's nice to get someone different up here and a little better looking. But, thanks, Kyle. All right. So guys that were at small groups last week, some of you, do you remember the story we talked about? What was the big story? Anyone can answer me that?
Jesus cracked it in the temple.
Jesus cracked it in the temple.
Literally.
Who knows who Jesus is? If you've heard of him, heard any stories about him, whatever. Everyone's heard of Jesus. Who knows that Jesus is like the nicest?
Most nice.
I don't like it when people talk when I'm trying to. That's it. Anyway, who knows that Jesus, right, the guy that we've all heard about, is like the nicest, most kind, gentle human being. He's like a flower in the field. Like he's pretty good, isn't he? Who knows that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll go to that for him too. Who knows, like, Jesus actually got really angry once. He did. He actually, like, excuse my language, Jesus got pissed. Like, yeah, he did. He got really angry. Like, you know when you guys, like, just get fuming and you just want to beat some heads? Do you guys know what that's like? Kyle, you know what it's like. You guys know what it's like just to get really angry and just to want to beat someone's head. Girls to scratch someone else's eyes out, pull their hair. I don't know what, however you fight, I don't know. Scream or something. You guys know what that's like, don't you? You've gotten to that point before where you just want to crack it and go nuts.
Just like Steve Francis.
And like I want to tell you that did she or he? Alright. Can I talk now though? Yeah, let me just get this out of the way because then we can go and have fun. The longer you guys keep doing this, like, last time I was up here for 40 minutes. You don't want that again. Yeah, so, alright. Yeah, 1 hour, we're going for that. Alright, the only reason Jesus got angry, and the only reason he got a little fired up and peed off, right, is because life was a little unfair. He noticed something that was a little unfair. That sucked that I didn't even get to do any push-ups. Because I would have blitzed it. I would have got them all like that. Life's unfair. Who felt a little ripped off that they just didn't get, like, the water and stuff? Like, I would have just wanted the water. If I got something else, I would have been pretty annoyed. Who had that fish one? That was really bad. I smelled that and it... Alright. I just want to let you guys know that when we see things that are unfair and when we see things that kind of aren't right, we get angry and we get peeved off, right? I've got some... Is anyone on my computer? Sally's on my computer. I've got some quick slides that I want to show you of when someone's gotten angry, right? And then something happened, like, okay. Here's the first example. This guy here is the Pharaoh of Egypt. Right, and he's in Egypt, there his pyramids. Now, obviously the Pharaoh was a bit of an angry guy. He wanted to keep his people. And when he couldn't keep them, he got angry. But this is what anger gets you. This is what happens. It doesn't work out well for him. Alright, we got the next one. Alright. This is the scene from Harry Potter. Does anyone know Harry's the one with the glasses? It's kind of Michael Jackson. Yes, he does. Hey, artistic impression, alright? Anyway, so who knows that Voldemort was a little angry? He was kind of a little pig. I reckon he felt a little disappointed with the car that he was given. He's, I don't know. Anyway, this is what happens when anger doesn't... This is what happens, alright? Here we go, there we go. This is where anger gets you, okay? Next one, what have we got? King Kong. He got a little annoyed, didn't he? These guys go in and capture him. He gets peeved off and he gets a little angry. What happens next one? He gets transported to the city, and this is where he lets his anger take control of him, doesn't he? Yeah. What happens to him? King Kong's gone. Alright? This is just giving you guys some ideas about where anger and where frustration and where, when things aren't fair, this is where it can lead us if we get angry and do the wrong things. Next one. Alright. Does anyone know this story? The Titanic. Or? Noah's Ark? Poseidon. No, you're wrong. Next slide, please. It's Titanic. There's a few people that get pretty angry and upset in this story. What happens to them? The boat sets on fire. And there's a big... I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I read the book. Next one. And don't let go. These took me about 10 minutes today, so I'm going to sell them on eBay. Alright, if we can just go to a black slide, that'd be perfect. Alright. So you guys understand what I'm talking about when you get angry. Things can sometimes turn out the wrong way for you, can't they? Yeah. I don't know, you just lose it and you're not really thinking right anymore. Jesus got angry, didn't he? Yeah. He walked into a temple and he saw things that weren't right. He saw things that were frustrating, that were unfair, that were unjust, and he got angry, right? But I want to let you know that it's okay to get angry. There's nothing wrong with feeling anger and feeling emotion and feeling like it's unfair and feeling like things aren't going your way. Does that make sense? Yep. So anger in itself isn't a bad thing. Okay? You're allowed to get angry. I just want to let you guys know that. Alright? Imagine... So we'll go back to the Jesus story. He was in this temple and he saw some things that were going wrong. Imagine you went home and your mum goes, dinner's going to cost you $5 tonight, Chris. And then Sarah comes over and she goes, oh Sarah, don't worry, it's only $2 for you. That's a bit unfair. Or imagine Kyle, you go to school and your teacher goes, Kyle, I really want you to pass this assignment. It's only going to cost you $10 to do it. $10, right? Goes to your mate and goes, look, I really want you to pass this assignment. It's only going to cost you $5. You'd feel a little ripped off, wouldn't you? You're like, why do I have to pay $10 and they only have to pay $5? This is what was going on in the temple, right? So Jesus rocked up to the temple, and back in those days, he used to be able to sacrifice an animal to God, just to tell him, hey, I'm sorry, here's my goat, you can have it, and it's yours, right? But what the temple did is they're like, no one can bring their own animals. You have to come in here and you have to buy ours, so then you can talk to God. How does that feel? You feel a bit ripped off. Imagine if you're a farmer and you've got like 100 goats and then you have to actually go in and actually buy one to kill it. That would be a bit frustrating. And then there'd be people that wouldn't be able to afford goats. So what the temple did is they, sold some birds instead for $5. just so, poorer people could buy something. And they had to buy something back then because that was the only way that they could say they're sorry to God. You'd feel a bit ripped having to do that. Imagine if you had to come in here and every week you had to pay some money just to make yourself feel better. But it would be different for everyone. I'd be like, it's going to cost you $5 today to feel good. It's going to cost you $3 to feel good. See, you'd be like, why does he only have to pay $3? That sucks. Now what Jesus did is he got angry about this. He's like, what's going on? This is completely unfair. I'm not even reading these anymore. He got peeved off with it. So what did he do? Anyone know?
He trashed the place.
He trashed the place. So, I actually want this, but imagine he comes in here. Get off. Get up. Get up. Get up. Do you know what? We don't need this stuff. Get up. What are you doing? Get out of there.
Super
My dad.
If I had just rocked up here and my church leaders were here and they saw me do this, they would probably want to kick me out, wouldn't they?
No, join in.
Alright, so he got angry because it was unfair. He got angry because it was unfair. Alright. Now, he got angry. Now, I actually probably hurt someone then, and I shouldn't have. But Jesus didn't actually get physical with anybody. He used his anger in the right way. He was frustrated. Right? He tipped tables. He drove out the money changers. He actually made a whip and scared people out of the temple. That's pretty full on. Like, imagine actually just being so angry that you sat down and took the time. He did, actually. He would have thrown a few of them. So imagine like you get that angry that you sit there and think about it for a while and you make a whip to go chase people. You're pretty angry. Right. Now, like I've said, anger in itself and frustration isn't a bad thing. What can be bad is what we do with that anger. Right? Yeah, okay, I could have kicked the stand and I could have pushed that over and flipped that. Maybe I shouldn't have yelled at you guys. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown you to the floor. We make mistakes when we're angry, don't we? Because we don't think. Have we got that other slide, Sarah? Not yet? Okay. Proper anger, I spelled it right this time. I had 2 P's before. 2 P's. So when we're angry, number one, we need to be angry for the right reasons. Okay? If someone kind of comes up and gives us a bit of a hard time, and we get angry over that and we go and do something about that, it's probably not really the right reason to get angry. When someone... What? No, not yet. After. Thanks, man. See, right then I could have got angry because he's really annoying me, but I didn't. We need to be getting angry for the right reasons. So Jesus got angry when he saw things that were unjust, that weren't right. When he saw people getting ripped off, having a hard time, whatever. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he saw people having a hard time, he got angry about that. Right? What's going on? Okay. Alright. Our anger needs to start from the right place. So when you get angry, you can't instantly just snap and go for it. I think when Jesus got angry, he actually took some time to sit down and think about it. Like I said, he sat there and he thought and he made a whip while he was getting angry, right? He didn't just jump headstrong in and start blasting people. Which is, I think, sometimes where we go wrong. When we get a bit upset, a bit frustrated, a bit angry, we just go for it, right? We don't think. Sandwich what?
Are you saying we should make a whip?
Maybe sometimes, but don't use it. Okay. All right. When we get angry, another thing we need to have is control. Okay. I think I had a Bible verse written down, but I can't remember now. I did. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get to that in a bit. So that's awesome.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. All right. You're lucky I kept control. Okay. All right. And the other thing we need to remember when we get angry is it needs to be for the right amount of time. When we see something a bit upsetting or someone annoys us, you don't sit there and brood on it for too long. Okay? You have to nip it in the bud. You've got to kind of tackle the problem and just let it go. The Bible says don't go to sleep when you're angry. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. You don't let things fester for the next day and the next day and the next day. It just makes it worse for yourself. If you're angry, you need to deal with it, number one, in the right way. Okay? You need to sit down, you need to think about it, you need to have control of it. Okay? And then you need to resolve it nice and quickly. You can't just let it hang around. Did you hear that one? You can't just let anger hang around. You have to nip it in the bud. So you don't go crack someone's head to get rid of it. Maybe you go and talk to them, sort it out, deal with the issue. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yes.
All right. Good. So I just want to let you guys know that Jesus got angry. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to feel the emotions, but it's what you do with that anger that matters. Okay? We may understand that things are unfair, and when we see things unfair, we're allowed to get angry. When you see someone getting pushed around, you're allowed to get angry for that. Stick up for that. But it has to be a good anger. Okay? Everyone?
Yep.
Yeah? Good anger.
Good anger.
Jesse, I've seen you. Alright, I know how you behave. So, here's a good one to remember, and this is probably one of the last ones I'll leave you with. So in Ephesians 4, it says, do not sin when you're angry, right? Or, in your anger, do not sin. So it's saying, anger itself is not a sin, right? It's okay to get angry. But what will happen is if you don't control that anger, that will lead you into sin. That will lead you into doing wrong things and having bad choices. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, anger itself isn't a bad thing to have. You guys are allowed to get angry. When, we talk about justice and we talk about people getting sold into slavery and we talk about kids being abused, someone being picked on at school, someone who just doesn't have any friends and gets beat up every lunchtime, and you're allowed to get angry about that. And actually, God wants us to get angry about that. He got angry when he saw his people being treated unfairly in the temple. When he saw his mates being ripped off, he got angry about that. But he did something as well. Alright? He didn't go cracking heads, but he drove at the problem and he got rid of the problem. Right? He didn't attack people. He did it in the right way. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
So I want you guys to go away from here knowing that anger itself isn't a bad thing. But you can... Alright, Jay?
What?
You got it?
Time to go.
No, I said, what did I say?
I don't know, I didn't listen.
Yeah, you weren't listening, mate. Alright? Anger itself isn't a bad thing. Sarah, on the desk, I know I'm going to jump this on you. Is you still there? Or anyone still there? On my desktop, there's a video file. I'm done now, but I just want to show you guys this video. If you ever get kind of like a bit upset or a bit angry, I watched this video. And it calms me right down. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch this. frustrated, Jesus wants you to watch that clip. Go to YouTube, type in cats talking or something, and that's what comes up. But that's me done for the night. I want to thank you for giving me your attention. And for my participants, we had this planned the whole time. He knew that was going to happen. So give him a round of applause, everybody, for taking his seat. These guys had no idea, so I apologise for taking this seat. Thank you. What have we got?